Things that I find that me and Sammy fight against are things that mommy went through silently. She had a really rough life. And I didn't take the time to get to know and understand. And I think I was just afraid to ask the right questions because some of the trauma that she endured, I didn't fully get. Welcome to the Inner Circle. What's going on, world? It's your girl, Amanda J, and we are back with another episode of the Inner Circle. Now, today I have my family with me, so this is my family circle. All right, now, ladies, introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Nicky.
Hi, my name is Charlene.
Hi, I'm Angelina.
Hi, I'm Eileen.
Hi, I'm Leonie.
And I'm Samanthea.
Awesome. So this is my family, guys. Let me just explain how we're all family. So Nicky is my sister-in-law. Charlene is honestly the big sis/aunt I never had. She's also the mother of my godson. She made me a godmother first.
Yes.
This is Angelina, her daughter, my baby cousin, and also my godson's older sister. This is Eileen. Y'all know Eileen. She's back again. She's my cousin. This is Leonie. She's also my cousin, and she's Eileen's mom.
Yeah.
And then this is Samanthea, because she knew if I said Sammy or Samantha, she would have helped me.
No,
So-
that was weird.
I know. Samanthea, even though it's really weird. Also known as Sammy. She's my sister, my older sister. Yes, she's older. All right, so today our food is brought to you by Peppa Nicey's Catering. Aki spring rolls.
Okay.
Okay. We've got some plantain skewers, ripe. And then we have a little arugula, spinach salad side going on here. And we have a Tinel's patty. So today's episode is sponsored by Humanity. Shout out to Humanity.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Okay, perfect. Let's go.
Oh, can I have the sweet and sour?
Yes. Okay, let me sprinkle some on first.
Yeah.
Guys, what is a family conversation without food?
An Afghan sausage spring rolls?
Oh, this is
Very
very
right.
ripe.
Yeah? The plantain?
Yeah,
This is good.
I like the plantain. Cause
And
and it's brown. I love a black plantain. Not gonna lie to you.
They like the skin. All right, so while you guys are saucing up, the reason why I thought that this episode was really important is because I feel like there's just everything coming after the Black family unit. And I feel like especially like in community and in sisterhood and in tribes. And I think one of the discrepancies, and I don't know if it's a society thing, but I feel like that multi-generational connection in family units is missing. I feel like the millennials are sick to themselves. The Gen X's are just like, can't butter. The Gen Zs are just like, I'll figure it out on my own. So I really wanted to show that even in the family unit, it's possible to like bridge those gaps. Because I feel like I have connections with all of our family generations. And it may not be everybody, because some people are stuck in their ways, and that's okay. But for the ones that are willing to find that bridge, like that multi-generational bridge, I feel like it's super necessary to have a conversation to kind of talk about how you build that. Like, how does the older generation reach down to the younger ones? And how do we as millennials reach down to the generation under us? And how do you, as Gen Zs, like pull up to us? Like, what does that look like? So who wants to start first for like how in their generation, like how they feel like they're able to bridge the gap multi-generationally? And we can go around. You can start with Nick's. All right, let's start on this side with Sammy.
We're both starting at once.
Okay.
Okay, no, but I will say, it depends. I think it depends on your personality and like your style of communication and stuff, and also your parent, like your parents. So we have especially our dad, like a very social parent. And our daddy was really close with all of his 800 grandpa, it's disgusting, siblings. And so like we grew up really close with like our family, our cousins and stuff, our grandparents, like, and we were lucky to have that. Not a lot of people have that. I feel like that started for me being able to connect with generations. And then we raised like Angelina them, all these little babies.
You don't say.
Like when they were born, like we were what, like 10, so then like they became like our little
babies, our little dollies, changing diapers.
So I was connecting with them, but then that just makes them stuck in my brain at like 10 years old.
Yeah,
permanently.
That I want to talk about too.
Permanently.
Right? Yes, but okay, nice. Leonie,
even though our family grew up very close, I found, and honestly, I'm going to speak honestly, I found that even though we're close, we come from a loving family, that there are individuals that are even on my level, my age group, that are not wanting to come down to the younger ones, that are not wanting to see what's happening in society and compromise and integrate. Like, okay, let's take social media, for instance. In the family, everybody says I'm the social media tete. Okay? Upon social media, I look at social media as a means of connecting with not even so much my friends, but with my family members, those that are far away from me, those that are close to me. And there are individuals that this is just how it is right now, that are not willing to adapt and to get to another place. So I've always communicated with individuals. My family is very important to me. You all, as my younger cousins, are very important to me, right? And I want to stay connected because we're moving in such a fast-paced world. So how do we keep up with one another? First, so for me, I adapt to the change, right? And I don't know. I think that if you say you love someone, you have to show you love someone, right? And in showing it, I'm supporting. In showing it, I'm checking out your hair. In supporting, I'm doing the action. That's just me. So, absolutely, yeah.
I think that's neat, and I think that's the fact that adapting is so necessary, but it's so difficult.
Leonie was just talking about the social media aspect of things. I think for us, even just our culture, we look at social media as, you know, you're going on there, you're being false. You're just going on there to find people's business out. Or you're putting too much out there because we're so, like you said, we have so much almost like to hide, but yet we don't have it to hide. But it's like we have so much pride that we don't want other people to know even what we're just cooking or how your room looks like. You know, why did you just go live with the bedroom looking like this? I know I've done that before. I'm like, can you stop taking? I hate bathroom pictures unless the bathroom is nice. Why are you pointing at me? Because I've seen you at your workplace. You took pictures. Yeah. So I'm like, yes, you do the bathroom pictures. But I was just saying that with the social media, I think that's why they look at that like, do you have to post that? Why are you always on it? You're like the paparazzi, you know? So
I think that's the difference between our generations. Your generation is more polished.
But then with like my family now, my mom is like super anti social media. Like, take that off. Don't do that. Nobody should know that. This is a secret. Like, everything has to be kept in a bottle. And for people who don't know, I'm on social media a lot. So anything I post, if my mom doesn't see it, her friend's going to tell her. If her friend tells her, it's a whole thing. And so trying to shift the mindset of that older generation, like, this is where we're going. This is where things are going. And kind of just got to keep up the speed. And I don't know, it's kind of tough, but I'm trying to push her in on that. And it's just, it is what it is. That's how we connect. TikTok. I know, right?
She's giving cut eyes, climbing the stairs.
It's that. It just is what it is. So it's tough, but
I think, and just, we're going to go to Eileen, but I wanted to say, the truth is, like, that's the difference. Like, that generation was more private, more polished. Our generation is like, you got to
Outside.
get all this authenticity in order to relate to us.
You guys are broke out.
But also in that, because of how I was raised,
Yeah.
I'm very much secretive and quiet.
Yeah.
So even just you guys seeing me on social media,
Yeah.
it's tough for me. Like I'm not used to that. So I'm still trying to break out of it myself.
But is it
Generation doesn't care.
perception?
No, they don't.
They don't care.
Says boundaries.
Okay,
what?
that's not one. No, I'm just saying, but isn't it about perception as well? Because also when you were just saying that you're more secretive, I don't think it's necessarily trying to be secretive,
No,
but it's
not.
more that you're thinking now before you put something out.
All right, what about you?
Like talking to older generations.
Like, how do you feel like your generation is able to bridge that gap with the other generations? Do you feel like it's harder for you guys? Like,
What does that look like for your generation?
Well, I'm still a 1990. Like I'm still born in 19. I'm like the last 2 years. I'm 1998. So like that mindset of like respecting your elders. Like people get on me all the time when I do this, but I never call somebody by their first name if they're older than me, unless they're my cousin. But
Yeah, no, me
I
neither.
don't ever do it. Like that's just a no for
Yeah.
me. Like there is a level of respect, and same thing with my friends. Like it's always Miss, ma'am, Mrs. And I have adults who tell me like you're aging me. No, I'm not. I'm respecting you. Because
Respecting, right.
I'm not gonna call you by your first name. Me and you are not same size.
Yeah.
So so I'm not saying that the 2000s don't have that, because they definitely do, but I feel like it was more ingrained in our culture as growing up, not just in our household, but our culture to respect elders. Now, how I connect with my elders is a little different than all my other cousins. And I think it's also because like I have an older spirit, but I'm very much so like a laughy person. Like I will joke with my elders. Like if I see them, like I can't give names, but if I see one of my grand aunts eating something she's not supposed to eat, like I will tease her about it. I'm like, "Oh, are you sure you can eat that donut?" Like she'll be like, "Eileen, be quiet." So like I will have like how I connect to my elders is through humor, through like just like, and I'll ask some stories. Like I'm the story girl. Oh, really? How'd you get that pet name? Oh, really? How much siblings you got? Like that's how I connect in the most like respectful way possible. But in the same time, I still look at them as like me and you, not same size. Now there is some new age stuff that I do that I know my aunts and my mom buck up on me with, but it's like I still believe that there should be a respect given to the younger people, and you shouldn't talk to us any type of way because we are experiencing the world the same way that you're experiencing it. So I'm the kid that will say, actually no, but still respect you in that regard. So yes, it is challenging, but at the same time, I guess I found my own way to do it, and that comes with honestly my personality. To be very honest, and that's back onto what Samantha said, like just straight personality, like because like sorry, it's hard to explain, but our grandmothers are sisters. So my grandmother's grandchildren, how they interact with their elders is totally different. Like they barely talk to them. I'm like, why are you not talking to them? Like, why are you talking to them like they're far off? So it's definitely like personality and like encompassing everything and realizing that they are human as well. So for sure.
So essentially what it sounds like, and this is what I found that I struggled with, is the younger generation almost has to do the work to meet the older generation where they're at. Because if we don't reach out, and then they're mad at us. It's just like, wait, hold on. I just got a phone. You've had a phone.
I mentioned
That same one. called
You've
me
had
yesterday.
it. I think I understand it because they did their time. They served their dues. So I feel like that's what I've found, and it's not always. You guys are young-hearted, older generations, but
And we look young.
I want to ask. Sorry.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Matt, I want to ask. Are you speaking like your mother's level, or are you speaking your like their parents?
No, even my parents' level. Like I feel like, and like if there's a gap. Like mom be like, hey, where you been? And I'm just like, wow, didn't call you for a week. That's weird. But like I know the pressure is on our generation to reach out and notably so. It's just trying to find that balance. One of the things I think millennials struggle with sometimes is balance because it's a grind culture. So sometimes you're just going and you forget why you're going. Like it's a battle of, you know what I mean? Like it's like I'm doing this for us, so I can't talk to you right now. So it's like a really tit for tat. But I know that I used to think I used to be so annoyed with the fact that the pressure was on our generation to reach out, but I understand it now because you did their dues. Like they did what they needed to do to get us to this age. Right. Now it's our job to take up that torch and sometimes pass it on.
They have to walk barefoot for miles to get to
the story. The same story.
Everybody shares this.
With the one
they're all true.
But you know, when you're just saying that, I don't know if I agree and I kind of don't agree. Where you're saying that you have to reach out to us more. I think it's the reason why that might be so is because we don't know what to say because everybody is offended so easily. Everybody has attitude. You know, they're not saying yes, mom. Well, in my house it's different. I'm just talking generally. They don't say like yes, mom. It's more like yeah, what? You know, how you doing? It's just one worded answers. So it's not like we don't really. I think it's like we don't know what to say. Like you're trying to gauge. Okay, is this person? Do they have a good day? Do they have a bad day? You're looking at how they come in through the house on how you're going to respond to them. So it's not like that we can just arbitrarily just throw out conversations because we can drive in the car together and Angelina will have her headphones on. But I was like, I'll say no, you know, take off your headphones. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Now I make her take off the headphone because I've seen other young kids and they're so disconnected from their parents. And I thought to myself, what better way to pour what I want into her, nag her, ask her questions, do everything. She has nowhere to go. Where's she going to jump out of the car?
Stuck in the car.
So I actually use it as an opportunity. And I think that I would rather us talk than her having her headphones in. Yeah. Because it's kind of like a lot of the young people, they're just like, they don't want to hear what you have to say. They're listening to their music and they'll go an hour and a half driving with maybe saying one word to their mom or their dad.
But Angie, what's that like for you? Because you guys are close.
Know. Yeah, because you guys
close in age?
No. But I wanted to, what is that like for you? And in like Sammy asked, and like the intentionality, does it require intentionality on your half?
Talk the truth, you know. Talk the truth.
For me, it's comforting. With my mom, I grew really close with her, as you all know. She's like my bestie. But sometimes it can be annoying. Like, you know,
that is the word.
Listen to music, like I'm trying to just chill. But she has a lot of experience, and I've learned a lot from her. Truly speaking. So it's just kind of opening up to her more, listening to what she has to say, understand that it's going to benefit me more in the end. That right now, it's just like a teenage thing I'm going through or a young person thing, but truly just listening to her and basically applying that to my life, not just like hearing it with my ears or being ears on it, you know, but actually listening and like applying it to my life and taking her instruction and just knowing that she went through these things first before me and just like trusting her and honestly God, you know. But
Charlene, you're a phenomenal mom. Like, can we just have
so you mother a lot of people.
God gave you these children and you raised them well. Where nobody's perfect, but the way you pour into your children. First of all, let's talk about all the moms at the table because Leonie and Nicola. That's called your full name.
I gave Nicky a shout out the other day. I'm like,
you're different. Like the way you raise these babies, even with the allergies and all of these different things, like you just troop. And I just be sitting up there some days like, I don't know if I can do it like Nicky. I don't know if I can do it like Nicky. Because you got a handful and you got personalities. But I just want to appreciate the Black moms at this table because you guys, it's not about you being perfect. It's about you show up. Like, you three women show up every day and you do the best you can with what you have. And it's enough. And I know some days it doesn't feel like that, and I don't fully know anything because I have no children. But what I will say is, like, from the outside looking in, like you guys are phenomenal moms. So I just want to celebrate you on that.
And you all had phenomenal moms as well.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you all have
really good moms.
Yeah,
and I think that's what you're gonna say. Like that's
like back to what I was saying about like it going back to like who parented you. And Charlene mentioned that when she said like what she's learned from people and what she's taken from them. And that all playing into like the person that you are and how you're able to connect with other people.
Yeah. I know not everybody has this. And that's really like, oh my God, my heart's hurting. Because I can feel like somebody watching this that doesn't have this. Yeah. They don't have that community. They don't have that, and it's not easy. We have all fought physically.
With knives.
Yes. Yeah, we have all fought.
With knives.
I know. I mean, but I can still say, I still have my family, and I feel it for the young girl who doesn't have their mom, or the person who wasn't raised with a mother or just felt neglected, and I guess I can ask Nicky to. And Eileen, I want you to, if you can encourage just somebody who may be watching this, just knowing that they there's more, and then they can find family beyond blood.
I guess the biggest thing is to understand that your life is going to be different. It's always going to be different, and you're going to experience people in a different way. To always walk and understand that not everybody's out to hurt you, but they're out to help you. And it might not come the way that you expected. Jeez. That is the biggest thing I could tell anybody that's trying to find a family or trying to find love outside of biologically. They're not going to look exactly how you think they're going to look or talk exactly how you think they're going to talk, but they're here for the right intentions for you. First thing I would say, pray. You actually have to pray. You have to pray about it intentionally. I remember there was a time where I was leaving home to go away for school. I prayed so hard intentionally about the next people I was going to encounter. If you don't have a prayer life, start off with just speaking into the atmosphere of what you would like. Be very, very intentional about that. Be very, very intentional about that. Speak into the atmosphere. Would the atmosphere must adhere to what you say. So, yeah, it doesn't always come with what it looks like. I have to speak from personal experience because family for me is such a touchy subject. Everybody who knows me knows I ride hard for my family. Somebody saw me the other day. They're like, "Why are you always with your cousin?" I'm like, "Because." Power. Because. Because she's the only one I was allowed to hang out with. To be honest, I have no curfew when I'm with my cousins. So there's no curfew. But honestly, my family dynamic, coming from mommy, my mom and my dad going through a divorce when I was really little. I grew up around people whose parents were single parents, so I thought single parenthood was a norm. Wow. It was picking seeing your dad up on the weekends, or your dad coming to pick you up on the weekends was everybody take. Okay, I'm about to see my daddy. And it wasn't necessarily a statistical thing. Please. Don't start with that, because there are homes that are together, but with my mom, surrounding herself around single women who were mothers as a level of support for us. And we were in a different city. We were in Mississippi. My family dynamic is still different. So there was times where people who weren't my family stepped in as my family, right? And then also, and I'll speak about this so organically, is that my mom and my dad, they didn't have the best relationship growing up. So there was never a time where I saw my parents in the same room together. Imagine how that could mess with your psyche. You never see your parents kumbaya. It's always you stay over there, right? So I had to really, really understand that God has chosen me for a reason, because I didn't understand why. How could God put oil and water together to make me, just me alone? I don't understand. How do they even meet to make me and they don't get along? So I had to really take a step back and think you know what? God has ordained you for a time, and he's giving you certain people to step in your life to be that type of family that you always needed. So yes, my sister is 7 years apart from me, but he's also given me sisters or cousins that are around the same age as me that can help me and help to prune me and beat me and honestly, I have step family that I consider my cousins. Nobody ever says, "Oh, is that your step cousin?" No, they're my cousins. So yeah, I just want to say that like family is not gonna always look like just white and black with a father and a father and a mother. You might have a step parent. You might not have a step parent. You might be from an adopted family. Like, let's talk about that. You might have to have straight foster parents for the rest of your life, but God is really going to take care of you at all times. And even if you don't have no parental figures in your life, He will be that parental figure for you.
Nikki, I want you to just share just that whole process, like with the babies having the allergies. And then I want you to encourage young moms, because I feel like you have
got a lot of encouragement.
Yeah, I know. I gave Eileen the other one, but I feel like you have something for young moms. And just like, because it gets overwhelming.
Woo.
Yes, honey. Yes.
Oh, for starters, I always get emotional.
Yes, so. Need the Kleenex?
Okay, so with the children with allergies, to be honest, before I became a mother, I always envisioned motherhood to be so fun. I was going to be that cool mom who picked her kids up from school or daycare and brought them to McDonald's, and they were going to play in the play place for hours. That was my vision at McDonald's specifically, because my dad brought me there every Friday. So that's how I knew it worked, and that's what I was going to do. So come to find out, my first daughter had an allergy to milk. So I was like, okay, that's weird. You know, she reacted. It was scary. It was a whole thing. But then it just kept happening with everything that I was giving her. And then it got to a point where it got super overwhelming. We did tests and everything, and it turned out that her list goes beyond the normal person. And so for me, that was very tough. It is still tough. It's been 2 years, but I will always get emotional about it because, of course, you envision something away, but God sees it differently. Ah! I can't believe I'm freaking out.
It's okay.
So, wheel it all in. My second daughter, turns out that she has the same allergies. And so that for me is also very tough. However, it's good because I guess I can nurture them in the same way. No one feels left out, you know, so He kind of gave me balance and grace in that. So I'm grateful. Thank you, God, for that one. But it is very tough. It is hard to even just go out as a family because you always have to pack things. You always have to be wondering what she's touching. You can go to somebody's house, walk in the kitchen, they have something on the floor, she blows up. It's a whole thing. It's all the stress on me. You know what I mean? So, guys, it's very difficult. I got me a whole box. I'm trying to fight it. But it is very difficult, and I try my best to just get it done. Try my best to be the best for them, ensure that they don't feel left out, and just try to make sure they're happy at all times.
So what do you do with that pressure? What do you do when you have a day where, you know, it didn't go as planned and you packed all these bags, you did everything, and yet you still notice at the end of the day she had a flare-up or something? What do you do?
Very frustrated, and I have moments. Sometimes I will walk away in my frustration, or sometimes I'll yell in the house or just cry by myself. Nobody ever knows. Nobody ever knows. I keep it to myself.
I know. Yeah, I know.
If I vent to you guys, you'll know. But there's a lot of times things happen, and I just kind of hold it in. Like what you said, when you get in the car, you're like, ah, what did happen? You know, but
it's holding it in.
There's because I feel like this is the second episode, and somebody said last episode about and I do it too. Like, I feel like when we're ready to just have emotion and cry, like we just retreat. Is there a reason why we don't feel comfortable?
Just can't trust people.
I don't.
With that, I think people want to see you.
What about the people that you do trust? Or is it just like you just need that moment for yourself?
You need it in a circle,
right? Or that.
Yeah, because it's hard. And people look for us to be vulnerable. They're looking. I don't know if it's just us, like Black women, that it's almost like they're looking for that told you so moment, or they're looking for that space in our life where we failed. And I think that's why we go so hard. I want to go and get that degree. I got to do this. And you're so overwhelmed with everything, but I have to be that one child that is going to make my mom proud. I have to be that one person that's going to do things different. I have to be the one. And it's a lot of pressure. And so people are looking for you to fail. Like they're looking for somebody in your family, whether it's the Samuels, whether it's my family. You always have those far people that are always just like, looking for that one child to fail.
How do we take the pressure off? Because Samantha is the queen
of handling pressure. She goes on vacation.
She doesn't handle pressure well. That is not
the
what
pressure
it is.
point.
Samantha is the queen of logging out.
I tell you, I need to get to
Sammy's level of I don't care.
As Charlene was saying that, in my head, I'm like, bun them. I was like, bun them.
It's just like, and honestly, Sammy has taught me the power of like literally rejecting every energy
below the standard
of what I set for myself.
Yes.
Like, because sometimes, we as Christians, we be using grace as like, oh, I'm just trying to give grace, fam. And that's fair and that's fine. But like, there are moments where you have to just be like, I'm gonna have to love you from a distance. Like, and I need to know Sammy, because you.
I need the blueprint. When did it start?
Go ahead. Did you? I kind of know how it got here a little bit, but I need to know when it solidified for you. Was it because you saw a result of when you let go, better came? Like, what was it?
For sure that, but I think for me it started really early. Like I think it started with all of that pressure that Charlene's talking about, especially because like, oh, she went to school, my daughter's a lawyer, and I think one of the first times, I think it started with getting really hurt, and I think the first example was our big church hurt. That should be a whole other episode. But that moment, and then I was also away at school. I was like alone. Grandma died, which was just the worst time of my life. And I think in that moment, being away, I was able to be like, everything is there. I'm here by myself. I don't think it started in a healthy place. But I think out of that, I was like, like, it's kind of nice. And then I started, like, even when I'd come back home, I think I had to do a lot of maturing on my own. And I think a lot of it also came with, when I went away to school, I was like, a whole new world was open for me. Like, I was surrounded by like just the level of, whether you want to call it prestige, I don't know what, but like just a level of life, people, like tax bracket that I just had never had access to or seen before. So when I'd come back and it would be all the petty little, skirt's not too long, I'm like, shut up. Leave the country. Like, go to another country. Like I just like I think my mindset just was shifted and it's like, these things don't matter. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pierce my ears. I'm gonna wear pants. I'm gonna like get tattoos. Like, and I'm still here. I'm still a Christian. Like that doesn't matter. Like so I feel like then to your point of like I've been able since then to just let go of things, and God just, when it's not for you, a lot of what we consider and we hide behind a lot of like, well, we're just proper, we just don't share, but it's really just judgment, which is first of all not of God. Like a lot of that stuff is just really, a lot of that stuff is just like really not Christian. Like a lot of the things that hold us back and make us feel condemned really aren't Christian. So when you start to just like know God for yourself,
that's
and
the key.
like it's just
that is the
like
key.
none of that other stuff matters. And then when people start bringing, whether it's energy or like personal whatever to you, you're just like, I don't need this, and just lock it off.
I love it.
It brings so much
in
peace.
Christ.
Can I just
like
say
you said.
this one thing, like what you just talked about? It keeps us, and I know we were talking about privacy and all that kind of stuff, and what you just said, it really leads us to life and generation of bondage. Of bondage.
Yeah.
Oppressed by what other people are thinking and saying and judging. You know, there's so many things that happens in our families that we keep silent.
One of the things that Leonie did just say about like that bondage that comes over you, if we don't deal with that in our current generations, it's very difficult for the next generation, because then the next generation is almost fighting against things they don't fully understand.
A lot of the things that,
where are these tears coming from?
You really want to say something, you're trying to compose yourself. That's why.
A lot of the things that I find that me and Sammy fight against are things that mommy went through silently. She had a really rough life. And I didn't take the time to get to know and understand. And I think I was just afraid to ask the right questions because some of the trauma that she endured, I didn't fully get. And it was just like now, like, and I even tread lightly with it. And because I knew she went through a lot, it was hard for me to share with her when I was going through traumas.
You don't want to pressure her anymore.
Yeah, because you didn't want to add any more. And it's just like the Black family sometimes, and with Black women, there's so much trauma in the family, but you don't, it's either you just feel like you have to hide that, and it's such a burden because those secrets, they eat you alive. And it's like, I don't know what we can do. I just started slowly opening up. And sometimes you won't get the reaction that you think you're going to get, but you just have to communicate the reality of those traumas because you need to free yourself for you so that you don't pass on that pressure and those missed fought battles that you decided to just tuck away. Somebody's going to have to deal with that, whether it's your children or your children's children. So one thing I just definitely I do admire about my family, and I admire about all of you ladies, is even though it takes us time and it's not always easy, we always have these conversations and we open up and we try to just be as honest as we can in those moments. And it's going to take way more work and much more conversations. But I know a lot of women, a lot of us at this table here have gone through life-changing traumas. So to see how much you guys have persevered and how you guys have pushed through that and how you found your family and you found your community and you found your sisterhood. For me, I just wanted to say, like, I applaud each and every one of you. I absolutely love you. You guys are my motivation.
Love you, baby.
We love you. Stories, you guys are so strong. And I know we don't want to be these strong Black women, but the life you've led of resilience is so beautiful. And I just want you each to know that, like, your story matters. And it has impacted me in order to get to this space where I'm comfortable even speaking to the world.
Amen.
Yeah. And I just wanted to make sure that I didn't do that by myself and that I had my family with me.
Oh, you corny girl.
Woo! Okay, so all of these tears, but it's all happy tears because we all love each other, and honestly, we're gonna have some more tears afterwards, but it's okay. So is anything anybody wants to say just to wrap up, just to encourage just somebody, a quick popcorn testimony about just encouraging the people on the importance and the beauty of just having sisters and family and like that connection with Black women in your family. I could just go around the table and we can just all say something. You can start next.
Okay, so I would like to say that just know that you matter, that you are accounted for, and family doesn't necessarily mean blood, because I have a lot of family that is blood and we don't even talk. But I am loved. I know that I am loved, and I have a great circle and community around me. And so your family might not look like your mom or a dad or a sister, brother, uncle, cousin, any of that. Doesn't even have to be the same color as you. It does not matter. There is somebody out there for you. Be open and willing to find that person, and allow yourself to be a little vulnerable, and allow yourself to feel loved and be loved, because you do matter.
I think this is going to just have so much to talk about after, but I think most of all, I think I would say to allow yourself to grow through grace, to have grace to make mistakes, to have that grace to say that you don't have to do it perfect, just do it perfectly the way that God made you to do it. Right. And I've heard them say before, you know, that you are faithful and you have a lot of flaws. And I like to really push that we're not perfect. You're going to make mistakes, but it doesn't help if you just bury those mistakes and just pretend like it's not real. You have to recognize that. And most of all, recognize who you are. Mothers matter. Your mothering matters. Every word that you speak, every smile that you give, every silent word that you say just under your breath, it matters to your children. It matters to your son. It matters to your daughter. And you might not see the fruits of everything that you poured into them right away. But if you just remain who you are and stay constant in their life, loving them, praying for them, and most of all, letting them go into the hands of God, which means that you are trusting that you've done what he instructed you to do the best way you knew how, and now he's going to handle the rest of it. I have something on my wall that says that, you know, a child when they're young, that they entangle your feet as a mother, because, you know, you can't go anywhere. You have to bring them where you go. They say, you know, it's Jamaican, but I'm gonna say it in English, that as babies, they tangle up your feet, meaning you can't go anywhere. Got to find a babysitter, everything else. But when they get older, they entangle your heart. And that just means that even when they're gone, even when they're living on their own, wherever they are, we're always thinking about our children. Right. And I do believe that what we want from you as children as well is to tell us about your pain, tell us what you're feeling, tell us about the trauma that you are actually experiencing, because in that you're freeing us. Because every day as a mother, we're always constantly thinking about, did I do it right? What is happening to my child? Where is my child in their life? Trust yourself, but most of all, put all of the trust, I have to say, in God, and understand that no matter what you say or what you do, the outcome will always be your heart posture and what you've always dreamed and believed for your children. Believe in yourself, believe in your children, grow through grace and grow in grace, and we will see the outcome.
For me, it's just to remember that you are not alone. Know that the season or whatever you're going through is just temporary, that God is faithful. And it's just a matter of time, as Eileen was saying, and both Nicky, that right person or those group of people will come into your life. God is just preparing you for that time. He's trying to make sure that you're ready, mentally, emotionally, and that you're just accepting of it. So just trust his plan, trust the process, and know that it is all a part of your life plan that he has set out already for you.
I would say that you can change the trajectory of your life. I think a lot of times in families, we always look for other people to change that for us. You can be that person to change the atmosphere for yourself and for your family. It will take a lot and it will take time, but you can start. You can be that person that changes everything with the help of God, but you could definitely change a lot. So sometimes you can't just look to the next person. Oh, my auntie's doing this, my uncle's doing this, my friend's doing this. Sometimes it's about what you're doing. Maybe God has made that aware in your mind for a reason to do. So yeah, and it will take time. Trust me, it will take time.
There's a lot of things that's swirling around in my mind, but one of the things that I believe as family that we and I believe this wholeheartedly, it's just really, it's to support each other, you know, and to esteem others above yourself. You know, we talk about families being together, and sometimes we think it's automatic that we support each other. Oh yeah, I love my family, but are you there for them? Are you believing in them? Are you wanting their success for them? Like, you know, more, you know, I believe that. I think God created me to be a cheerleader. I've always wanted to have a pom-pom and skirts, but, you know, really and truly, I've always thought I was a cheerleader.
You are.
You know, and so esteem someone above yourself, support other people. That's what is in my spirit right now, you know?
Yep. We just talked about that. I think I just say go to therapy, cry. That's fine. You don't have to have it all together all the time. I think it's actually in those low moments when you grow most. So embrace those. Like, I love a good cry. Oh my God. Like, I'll have my car cries too. I'll have my like bad cries. Like, it's really ugly. But yeah, those that you come out of those feeling so light and therapeutic. So I think people are afraid of that, but like, it's okay to do that, to break. And then also just similar to what you were saying, Leonie, in terms of supporting people, just like call. I make it a point now, one of our uncles passed away, and I call his wife like every month. I make it a point to call this, like Sam, every month. And she, like Amy, I make sure I call my grandmother every week. Even if it's literally like a 2-minute call, I'm like, I'm driving, I'm going to be somewhere, I'll call you later, and I call her next week. But like, just like, try, like, do that, connect with people, because I mean, we're not all here forever. So it's these relationships that matter.
It takes a lot of trial and error to build your circle. It takes a lot of vulnerability, and some moments you won't get what you want out of it. Others you will. But you just have to put your best foot forward and do the best that you can to create the tribe, the community, the sisterhood, the circle around you. And you don't just write off people because they don't get it right the first time. You really do have to try, Sammy, just a little bit, instead of writing people off, because you're. But you don't
really
write
cut
people
off
off.
those people
Yeah,
who
the people who drain
immediately,
you,
like immediately.
in terms of family, sometimes, and some family can be draining. Let's be very clear. But just know that it's all trial and error, but it will require you to be vulnerable, and you will have to break down some walls. And lastly, but not least, if that's so improper. But anyways,
last but not least, my cousin.
And last but not least, I would say you are all deserving and you are all worthy of a safe space. So my prayer and my desire is that for everyone watching this, that you will find it, you will recognize it, and you will do the work that it requires in order to maintain it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for our episode 2. To family.
To family.
To family. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.